Hello, YZOS students. Today we're going to take a look at an issue that has been central to the United States, that of immigration. And we're going to start by getting some background information on the history of immigration in our nation. So today we want you to be able to describe the trends and reasons for historical immigration. Identify whether these reasons are push or pull factors. And this will be shown in Nearpod activities and a game that you'll do today in this very Nearpod. The United States is often thought of as a nation of immigrants. In fact, the first immigrants came 30,000 to 15,000 years ago across a land bridge into North America. The land bridge was created by ice during the Ice Age and connected Russia and Alaska. And these first immigrants naturally followed the mammoth, a food source, across the land bridge. Ever since, immigrants continue to be drawn to the United States for a variety of reasons. First, let's start with some definitions that are central to any study of immigration. An immigrant is a person that comes to live permanently in another country, and they can come because they want to or because they're forced to. A refugee is a person who's been forced to leave their country to escape war, persecution, or natural disaster. In other words, if they stay in their country, things are not going to work out well for them. Persecution means ill treatment due to religious or political beliefs or one's race. For example, if you practiced your religion of choice, but would face jail time for this or prison, that would be an example of persecution. Another example of persecution would be if you spoke out against the government and you might disappear or face physical harm or death. In both cases, you might become a refugee. So let's take a look at the two types of factors that bring immigrants to the United States. Pull factors are reasons why an immigrant wants to move. It's a choice and it's a positive thing. So if we think back through history, I bet we can think of some examples. A pull factor might be better jobs, a better income, or better living standards or medical care. A pull factor makes an immigrant want to move. It's a choice and a positive thing, much like this gentleman's smiley face here. He wants to come to the U.S. Other immigrants don't have a choice. These are reasons why an immigrant has to move. They're forced or negative or push factors, like this gentleman being pushed out of Europe and towards the United States. A push factor might be a hurricane has leveled your house and there are no jobs available. Another push factor might be if you were facing persecution because your group is being targeted by the government in your home country and they're disappearing. Another push factor might be that a civil war breaks out in your country and you want to avoid that destruction, or your home is destroyed. Following Native Americans that came to North America so long ago, and after the discovery of the New World, in quotes, the next big wave of immigration is going to happen between the 1600s and 1700s during a period of colonization. So who came? English, Africans, Scots, and Germans. By far the largest group is going to be those Europeans, 4 million of them total by 1790. You also had 1 million Black Americans who were brought as slaves to the colonies. So where did they settle? In the East Coast, where those original 13 colonies are over here. And their reasons are going to center a lot on economic opportunities, freedom, and a bit of force. First, cheap labor is going to be available in the new colonies. Some courts would actually sentence prisoners to work in the colonies for a period of years versus sentencing them to jail. These individuals were called indentured servants. They were forced to do labor for a period of time, and they were a source of labor in the 13 colonies that could be used. Additionally, you did have the forced group of slaves, as we mentioned earlier. Another group came seeking opportunity. Second sons in Europe came because the oldest son inherited everything. Because they inherited everything, the wealth and land of their families, second sons traditionally had to join the church or military. But the 13 colonies now gave them a new opportunity. They could get land here and start afresh and create their own wealth. So many came for that reason. Finally, religious and political freedom. In the colonies, the government was less involved in personal life, so there was more freedom. Some religious groups came, like the Puritans, to worship and live in their own way. But throughout all these reasons, we need to note that the Native Americans' land claims weren't really considered at this time. We'll come to that later.